Hey folks, welcome back to another video. Now I know recently money has been tight across the world and even the price of the Quest has gone up. And you want to play games, but you don't have the money to buy any new ones? Well, have no fear, WaqMan is here. Today, we are going to go through 15 amazing free Quest games that you might never have heard of. I did have to filter through a lot of rubbish to find these gems. So, if you enjoy the video and find it helpful, then please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Also, if 15 isn't enough for you, make sure you watch my previous video on the 32 free VR games all rated. Talking about amazing and free, remember we have our 40k subscriber special giveaway on right now, where I will be giving away any game on the Quest platform and the winner gets to choose which game they want. To enter this amazing giveaway, simply like the video, subscribe to the channel, put on bell notifications and comment hashtag WaqMan40k down below. That's it. The winner will be chosen sometime next month. Well, let's get straight into the video. Now, these games aren't in any particular order as they're all great, but my aim here is to give you at least a couple of games that you've never heard of or tried. So, number 1, Moonrider. Well, let's start off with a banger, no pun intended. Moonrider is actually incredible, as it's literally Beat Saber but for free and played through the browser rather than having to download and install the game. To play it, simply open up the Oculus browser and type in moonrider.xyz. Then click view in the headset and that's it. Not only is this a free Beat Saber, the game already has loads of awesome custom songs from anime to Disney to movies or even memes. Plus it's using these maps from the Beat Saber menu, so the maps will be similar to the ones on Beat Saber. Now obviously this doesn't have the same quality of Beat Saber, but it is still worth a try, especially if you don't have Beat Saber, which is a $30 game. Plus, this game has some additional features, giving you an awesome workout with punch mode, where you actually punch the shapes instead of cutting them. So it might even be better than Beat Saber for some people. Number 2, Floating World. Now this is one of the coolest concepts I've seen in a survival game, where you're stranded on a raft in the middle of the ocean, where it does look like your boat has been destroyed. So what you need to do is scavenge the items that are scattered around you, to try and improve your raft, make it bigger and even defend your raft against the sharks that are swimming around you. Then once your raft is big enough, you can sail to the different islands around you. This will allow you to get stone, chop wood for trees, or even hunt animals for food or resources. There is also a food and water survival system forcing you to get out of your comfort zone. It's actually pretty incredible. Now there is also multiplayer where people can work together to support each other. But remember, the game is still in alpha, so there are quite a few bugs that will hopefully get resolved. And not all the features are currently available, although I would still recommend you trying out this incredible game. Now there is another game like this called Ocean Rift, and you can play an hour of that for free to see if you like it, but then it costs $10. So take a look and see whichever one you like. I've left the link in the description for both of them. Number 3, Liminal. Now I've added Liminal on this list for those who want to engage with their mind, either to calm it down or make it more energetic, or put it in a state of awe. Well, those are the options that you have in this game anyway. Liminal is focused around your mind and it does a pretty good job at getting you engaged. You can choose to sit by the fire and relax, or see a series of Mandela effects, or play shooting games to get you energized. Or you can even be a bee and fly around the sunflowers. Although I'm not really a big fan of that one, because it does make you feel a little sick due to the motion. But others are pretty good. There are actually quite a few more you can get if you enjoy this type of game. However, I've just seen the free ones. Also, even though it asks you to register and create an account, you don't really have to. You can just play as a guest to see if you like it. So I suggest you just do that just to get into it, and if you enjoy it, then maybe create an account and see if you want to take it further. Number 4, Discovery. Now I was thinking of not adding this one onto the list initially, but not because of the game. It's because it's a little tricky to download it if you want it for free. So to get this game for free, you just need to click the link in the description. Once you're on there, click on the drop down and select either download app sideload or download app itch. This will allow you to access a light version. Now from what I can tell, it mainly has the multiplayer support that's removed, which can be a big thing. However, it does give you a chance to play the game fully before you fork out any money on it. So what is this game? Well, as you can see, it's basically Minecraft. Now it does have quite a few things missing that are in Minecraft, such as no survival mode right now, or enemies that I've been able to find. It's literally a build what you can type of game. Personally, I would not pay for this game, as yes, it does grant multiplayer, but it's not really worth it. I would rather play the Minecraft Java edition. But I thought I would include it here anyway, just in case someone just likes the building aspect, and it does do that pretty well. Number 5, Lit. Now this is an awesome name, by the way. The game reminds me of the Need for Speed Midnight series with how it looks and feels. For example, you can choose your car and customize it to how you see fit. There are actually quite a good range of different cars to choose from. Then when you're inside the car, it actually looks incredible and feels like you're driving a premium car. Plus, this is an open world game, so you can drive around anywhere. And it's also multiplayer. You can play with a friend by joining the same lobby. Then you can even find particular areas for races, where the winner gets a nice pot of money. Now, there are some bugs and issues with controls, with cars falling off the map, and it does feel a bit weird driving a car with your hands floating in the air. By that I mean with the Quest controllers, as you're not actually holding a wheel. But that's not the game's fault. Although on the most part, it's pretty impressive, and considering it's free, I would definitely give it a go. Number 6. Paradiddle. Do you want to learn the drums but they make too much noise and your parents or neighbors will go mad if they hear you playing drums all night long? Well, Paradiddle, which is a strange name but apparently it's a musical pattern, is perfect for you. This actually works amazingly well for beginners or even experts. There is even a USB and Bluetooth pedal support for your kick drum or hi-hat. Now, to make it even cooler, you can even upload your own custom songs. Now, I'm not really a musician. I did try to learn the guitar in my younger years to impress the ladies, but it was way too hard for me. However, even a novice like me can see the quality and features on offer here. There are a lot more different instruments you can try, such as bongos.
3 in the morning is a good time for bongos.
I would say, if you like to learn how to play the drums, or even show off your skills, since you can even share your sessions, then this is the perfect game for you. Number 7. Black Tops Hoops VR Basketball. Alright, so this might be the best basketball game in VR, and it's completely free, although the competition isn't that high. To be honest, looking at the competition, the production value on this game seems pretty high. This is a street basketball type of game that is also multiplayer. It's kind of an arcade style rather than going for particular realism. However, because it's in VR, it automatically adds the realism into it because you need to make those shots yourself. Now, if you're not able to find any people to play against, or just don't like people, there is also an AI. To be honest, it's easier to dunk on the AI than real people. I personally prefer the AI, but that's mainly because I don't really like to try very hard at this stuff and it feels like I'm the best when I'm against the AI. Even the sound and the narration in the game is pretty cool, especially if you like the 90s vibe. I personally think this is the best basketball game in VR currently. Although I'm not sure how long this will remain free, so make sure you get it now. Number 8. Traversal. Now this is a game that is kind of a rip-off of T for God. However, these guys have done it so much better. The graphics themselves look amazing, the gunplay is fantastic, and there's even a level editor to make your own custom levels, which I normally don't. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, basically in Traversal, you use your own room space and walk around yourself. Now you do need at least a space of 1.5 meter by 1.5 meter to be able to play, which isn't that big, it's literally 4'9" by 4'9". If you have that, then when you go into the world, you will literally feel like you're in a whole new place. The way the maps are generated, it is based on your play space, and the movement is basically you walking around. It makes the experience so much more immersive. Since there is no artificial movement, it also means that you won't get motion sickness in case you have difficulty with movement. There are also puzzles and traps to navigate through, as well as enemies to kill. To be honest, I'm surprised this is still free. I urge you to download it now before it becomes paid. Number 9. Monster Showdown. And let me ask you this, do you like COD Zombies, or even just arcade style shooting games in general? If the answer is yes, then you're going to love this game. The reason I compare this to COD Zombies is because it feels like it's stolen quite a few things from it, but potentially even better on some things. As they have awesome boss battles with cool looking enemies, a great range of weapons, and even weapon boxes between rounds, random perks, buying weapons off the wall, and even repairing barriers to prevent the enemies from coming through, which is literally mimicking COD Zombies. Now the art style is colourful and enjoyable to play through. You can even dual wield assault rifles or even miniguns. There is also a feeling of progression as you get diamonds after playing through a round, win or lose, which also allows you to upgrade your weapons or perks. Now the sad part is that there are only 2 maps, but that's because the developer is waiting to see if it gets enough interest and traction. If it does, then they'll bring it all over from the PC VR version. Now considering how much fun the game it really is, I hope it does all come to the Quest. So I would suggest you try it, and if you love it, make sure you let the developer know. Number 10. Harvest VR. Now this is a unique one on the list. This is basically a farming simulator for which there is a good market for. Look at Farmville. But here you get to farm crops, mine, fish, take care of animals as well as slaughtering them. You sell your harvest and buy new and better tools and get better crops. You can even play on real time or simulated time, depending on how you want to extend your game and how realistic you really want it to be. The visuals are similar to Rec Room if you like that kind of look, but the game is relatively fun as you can collect items and even complete quests. If this was multiplayer, it would be much better, but even without it, if you enjoy these type of games, it's done it really well. Number 11. We Are One. Now this game is criminally underrated. I have covered it previously, however because they changed their name for some reason, I'm going to be mentioning it again. So, have you ever wished you could clone yourself as you can only rely on yourself?
You are not you. You're me.
Well, this game is exactly that. It's actually incredible. You're basically using time travel to help yourself achieve tasks and solve puzzles. Help Yourself was the name of the game previously, God knows why they changed it. So, here you help yourself by throwing yourself ammo or weapons and killing enemies in ways you couldn't do it alone. It's crazy to think about it, but the game is basically a puzzle shooter, where you have multiple spawn points but also multiple tasks that need to be completed at the same time. So, what you need to do is spawn in one location, do your action, then throw the gun in the other direction where your time clone will be, and then reset the time loop. And then grab the gun that you threw earlier and use it to kill your enemy. The concept is amazing, and I can't believe this game is free. The puzzles also get harder the higher level you go, and there's even a reasonable amount of content. Plus they're looking to introduce a map editor, which will make it endless. The art style is like a comic book. It reminds me of Borderlands. The game is still relatively early in its development, so the potential is there for it to be one of the greats. But they have made a lot of improvements recently. Also, again, this is a great one for VR beginners, considering you won't get motion sickness since there is no movement. Number 12. Vertical Shift. Well, this one is basically Spider-Man and Iron Man combined to make the Iron Spider. What I mean by this is you're in a futuristic city, web swinging around the city, but you also have the thrusters like Iron Man to move around as well. It's actually pretty cool and makes you feel like you're soaring through the air freely if you get good enough. It does take some getting used to, however once you master it, there are 4 multiplayer modes that are really cool to play. You have Freeze Tag, which is pretty cool, where you get an EMP blast and you need to freeze the enemy. The first team to get 10 points wins. You have something called Hot Seat, which is basically capture the flag and hold it by running around trying not to get tagged by the other players. This can be really intense and frightening when everyone is chasing after you. I urge you to make sure you have room to play, as you will forget where you are and smack into something.
Oh shit!
Then you have Infection, where you need to hunt down the other players. Something like Dead by Daylight, although obviously not the same. And then if all that doesn't prove who is the best, then you can also race with the people through the obstacle course to see who is the fastest of them all. Now obviously there are issues with bugs and lack of polish, but to be honest the game offers so much and so many things that I think it really deserves more traction, especially since it's free. So definitely give it a go. Number 13. No More Rainbows. So this is a funny one. In No More Rainbows, your home has been taken by these weird rainbow creatures and you need to use your beastly powers to take it back. You can even retract your claws like Wolverine. It's kinda cool. But the best part of the game is the movement is like Gorilla Tag. But instead of tagging, it's straight up destruction. You literally stab the evil rainbow creature smiling at you. The game isn't very long, but it's here for a good time, not a long time. There are 4 worlds with a story narrative, as well as boss battles. There are cosmetics and skins you can unlock, but be warned, it is a little bit of workout like Gorilla Tag is. Although if you're good at Gorilla Tag, then you'll breeze through this one with flying colors. No pun intended. Number 14. Pioneer, the Endless Journey. Now, Endless is the perfect name because this game is a roguelite, which is one of my most hated genres. Because it basically means that if you die, you die. Well, basically you start over again. However, you do still take your points, known as cogs, with you, so you can have a better start next time. Although the game itself is actually a lot of fun, and there are cool looking graphics, boss battles, procedurally generated maps, and different weapons. Now talking about the weapons, they are a big part. Each weapon is customizable and you need to be strategic about it, as each of the weapon has an option with different ammos and different abilities. Your gun can have a double effect, one that causes a lot of damage and then a secondary effect that causes ice damage or electricity, similar to something like Monster Hunter if you've played that. Now new parts give you new abilities and there are also orbs you can collect and use which also have different effects. And you'll need to understand and use all these things effectively to be able to beat the bosses because they're not easy. And like I said, if you can't, you start all over again. So it is very nerve-wracking and rage-inducing. However, I am surprised it is a free game, considering the quality is actually pretty high. So I highly recommend it. So definitely check it out. And now last but not least, number 15, Roller Mech. Well, I know you all wanted to be a transformer, and this is your perfect opportunity to do so. In Roller Mech, you're actually in a mech suit, something like Titanfall, but you can't get out. To move, you're rolling on the ball frame of the mech, hence the name. But you also have grappling hooks to get you around the levels. This especially helps on levels where there's floating platforms. Not only that, you also have an awesome Gatling gun and will be mowing down your enemies. There is multiplayer with death matches, although there are still enemy bosses around to satisfy your killing needs. I haven't really seen too many players in multiplayer though, so I wouldn't really rely on that too much. Now, although the game can be fun, it does get a little repetitive if you don't have people to play against. So I would say give it a go, especially if you have a friend to join you. Well, there you have it. 15 secret free VR games. Hopefully you found at least one or two that you haven't heard of. If you did or enjoyed the video, then please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. All the links to the games are in the description below. Remember, if you didn't watch my previous 32 free VR games rated video, then make sure you do so because it covers a lot of different games that are free on the Quest. Well, thanks for watching. Have a great day, stay safe and see you next time.